Hi everyone, my name is Kylie Fair, and this is my audio recording for my learning teaching interaction. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was kind of outreach, family, life education in a general aspect. So from the reading, I kind of understood that there is a lack of professionalism in a way in the family life education outreach areas. And it seemed that this book was really aiming towards improving the practice of family life education. And I felt like that was really applicable to us because we are either working in the family relations option or the family workshop option, and we're definitely going to be needing to employ some of these characteristics in improving family life education in our own class. And so I kind of wanted to talk about those. So family life education outreach specifically is an educational activity that occurs outside of the traditional classroom, much like what we're doing right now. And the family life education uses family science principles and practices to strengthen and develop relationships within the family. And it is essential that within these workshops and classes, there's professionalization, program rigor, program effectiveness, marketing, and reaching the most needy audience. And just by including these characteristics kind of on the level that we're working at right now, but also in the future, we can work towards improving the practice of family life education. So the first thing that came to my mind when I was reading this was just the need for professionalism. So I know that we just did our intake interviews with our partners, but I think that professionalism is going to be super important when we're doing our own intake interviews with our participants next week. There was a lot of questions in the interview that were a little uncomfortable and that did require some disclosure. And I think that in order for us to really figure out who our target audience is and what their needs are, we are going to need to have a really high level of professionalism and the utmost respect for their ideas and experiences. And another really important thing that stood out to me was program effectiveness. How can we be effective if we aren't being professional and we aren't meeting our target audience's needs? And I think that can only take place if during our intake interviews right at the beginning, we are really focusing on what their interests and needs are and how we can help them rather than kind of what we would like to teach them. And I think that we can do this in our intake interview by being really open and receptive. I think that there's a specific question in our intake interview that talks about what would you like to get out of this and what is your current family related needs. And I think by allowing the participant to really open up to us and share with us what their needs are is how we will be effective in our program and how we will be effective at meeting our learning objectives. Another really big thing that I felt like was reiterated a lot throughout the chapters we've read in the past few weeks is the importance of program rigor. One of the biggest priorities in FLE outreach is to make sure that our program is grounded in scientific foundations and theories. And I think a lot of problems can arise when we don't make sure that our outreach program is founded in scholarly knowledge. And I think that our foundational knowledge should not ever be based off of our opinion. I think you can kind of run into some issues with this if, say, somebody isn't of our faith or perhaps they have a little bit of an untraditional family. If we're bringing in opinions, we're not going to be able to meet their needs. We really need to keep it grounded in the literature and the scientific principles that we have been learning in our major, as well as what we will continue to learn throughout the years. I also felt like staying on target was something that was so emphasized throughout these chapters. And I think it's something that we really need to focus on too as we are developing our family relations classes or our workshops. So it's really important that our target goal is to strengthen individuals, marriages, and families in their relationships. And how do we do this? Well, we do this by staying on target. In the intake interview, we specifically ask the participants what their needs are, determine those needs early on, and emphasize those needs in our learning objectives. Our target audience has felt needs, ascribed needs, and needs that we determine based on our expertise in family life education. And I think that there are needs that they will tell us, and there are also needs that we will need to use our own knowledge to detect and kind of meet those. I also think that when we meet our select change objectives, we have successfully met our learning objectives. And these learning objectives absolutely have to be based on target audience's needs. And that is something I really want to focus on when I'm doing my intake interviews coming up in the next 2 weeks. I just want to make sure that I make them really comfortable. I'm very professional and very friendly. They feel okay talking to me about what's going on. In my own life, I've had a little bit of experience with needing to determine my target audience's needs. I was a young adult advisor for the singles ward group in my stake, and I taught a lot of Relief Society lessons. And I just know that when I was single and I was in Relief Society and I didn't have kids, sometimes I didn't really understand why I was learning any of these things. It doesn't apply to me. Like, how is this important in my life? And I think that it was really important for me to segment my audience based on their demographic, as well as their attitudinal and behavioral characteristics. I realized how old they were, that they didn't have kids, and that I needed to make this applicable to them. And I think that that's something that we'll have to utilize a lot in our lives, just in church, with our kids, and also with family life outreach. One last thing I wanted to hit on is I really liked the eclectic approach in the approach to family life education. I really felt like it encompassed everything, and I think that that is the best approach to use. But specifically, I loved the interventionist approach, how we can model desired behaviors, use reinforcement and learning objectives to bring about change. I also liked the idea of using the facilitator approach, where we have a learning agenda and teachers put participants in touch with knowledge that they already have. I think this is a big one that we're going to be doing in our family relations workshops. And I kind of think that the expert approach won't really be utilized that much in this scenario, but I definitely think that the expert approach has its time and place where we will be using it. And that's all I have. Thanks, guys.